Ladies and gentlemen, today we have another interesting video to get into, and I say that every day, but I mean that every day. I go on the internet and I search for the most important and amazing gaming news, and I bring it straight to you. Today we have some PlayStation news, we have some Metroid news, and some Switch 2 news, so let's go and get right into the video. So this is a video I'm actually very excited to make because we have 3 topics and all of them are equally as interesting as the last, and if all 3 are true, then we are in for a very exciting gaming future. Now, before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would be really cool because that would mean the world to me. We're growing over here. We just hit 13,200 subscribers. My goal is to hit 14,000 before the end of the year, so we'll see if we can get there. But let's just go and get right into the video. So first, let's start with some PlayStation news. Now, recently I made a video about the 1-year anniversary of the PlayStation Portal. I got a PlayStation Portal in, I want to say, July of this year, or around there, right? I initially thought the PlayStation Portal was dumb. I thought it was a stupid idea, and I knew I would never get something like this. Then I got a PlayStation 5 for Christmas. I fell in love with the PlayStation 5, and I thought, you know what? The PlayStation Portal might actually serve a purpose. So I bought into the hype, and I got a PlayStation Portal in July or around there. And initially, I thought it was pretty cool. Like the first 2 weeks, I thought, okay, you know, it's serving a purpose, right? Then, as time went on, I started to dislike it a little bit, and dislike it a little bit more, and dislike it a little bit more. And then I started questioning, why the hell do I even have this console? And I realized the only reason I got the console is truly because I bought into the hype, because I followed a trend. Once I became real with myself, I realized I freaking hate this console. So when I made the video about the 1-year anniversary of the PlayStation Portal, my whole opinion had changed drastically, and that's okay. Your opinion is allowed to change based on new information or new experiences, but a future handheld PlayStation device, like a real one? Okay, I'm back on track now. Rumor, PlayStation is planning a new handheld device. And I want to say in like the last week or 2, we made a video about Xbox coming out saying that they're making a handheld device to compete with Nintendo as well. So that would be cool. When we have an Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo handheld console, that's going to be a very exciting time in gaming. A brand new PlayStation handheld console capable of running games natively, this is the big takeaway, is reportedly in the early stages of development at Sony. The rumored PlayStation device could be the first standalone handheld release by the tech giant since the PS Vita, initially released in 2011. I got a PSP last year in a trip to LA. I went to this huge gaming convention, bought a PSP. Having only one thumbstick was kind of hard to get used to. I've never had a PS Vita, but if I'm not mistaken, a PSP is basically a handheld PlayStation 2, and a PS Vita is basically a handheld PS3. So I think a PS Vita is still something I might get in the future. The progress of Sony's next PlayStation handheld is in the early stages, as per a report in Bloomberg. The article mentions that the portable console will be able to run PlayStation 5 titles on the move. So right there tells you that this device is different from the PlayStation Portal. However, the report said the system is still years away from launch status while giving no guarantees about the handheld making it all the way through development either. So yeah, this is very early in development. I'm sure that this thing will come to light one day. If it's years away, and the reports are the PlayStation 6 is going to launch in 2027 or 2028, I could see this be like the last thing we get for the PlayStation 5. So if this console does come out, I could see this being a 2026 console. But yeah, very interesting stuff, so I just wanted to mention that. It was either this year or last year, but we got Metroid Prime 1 remastered. We got this game for only $40, so actually I think it was last year now that I'm remembering. We got this game for only $40, one of the greatest remasters of all time. I read on the internet somewhere a very interesting theory about why this game was only $40. And the reason why is it was to soften the blow about Tears of the Kingdom being the first $70 Nintendo Switch game. So I think they announced the price of Tears of the Kingdom right around there. So instead of us freaking out being like, what the hell is a $70 game? They're like, hey, look, I'm distracting you. There's a $40 game over here. And it kind of worked. But since the success of that game, we've been wondering, okay, where's Metroid Prime 2 and Metroid Prime 3? And now we know Metroid Prime 4 is coming out in 2025. Will we ever get Metroid Prime 2 and 3 on the Switch? this is coming from Samus Hunter, so a very popular leaker. Metroid Prime 2 Remaster planned for Switch early 2025. I'm looking forward to playing the entire trilogy on the Switch before that. About 2 Remastered. And this is 2 Remastered, which is pretty cool because there was a rumor that we were going to get 2 and 3, but they were going to be ports and not remasters. I can confirm what Grubb mentioned. It was planned as a standalone release, but got moved a couple of times, and now it's planned for early next year. Likely between Donkey Kong Country Returns HD and Xenoblade X. So Donkey Kong is coming in January. I don't think Xenoblade has a release date quite yet. I could see this being a February release, right? That kind of makes sense. It is very peculiar how Nintendo's handled these 3 games to release more than a year after their completion. In fact, they can release them whenever they want. Personally, I wouldn't rule out an announcement of them at the Game Awards, as timing would fit, but I have no information on that. And I did make a video a few days ago about a potential Metroid announcement coming at the Game Awards. And it's strange because Retro Studios, the company who makes the Metroid games, and Jeff Keighley have a strange relationship. So, man, that actually could happen. We were all assuming it was probably going to be a Metroid Prime 4 announcement or a new trailer for Metroid Prime 4. But what if it was an announcement for Metroid Prime 2 Remastered and it gives us a release date as February? That would be kind of crazy. If that doesn't happen, I think we're getting a Nintendo Direct in December. And ladies and gentlemen, let's cap this off with some Switch 2 news. Yesterday, I made a video saying that the Switch 2 release date is in March and the reveal is in January. And we had 2 major leaks supporting that claim. Well, it turns out we have more information supporting that same claim. Rumor, Switch 2 will be revealed in January and released in March of this 2025. This information comes from Nintendo Prime. Nintendo Prime found a rumor posted on Weibo? I don't know. But couldn't verify with a fluent Chinese language speaker. But the main talking points that don't seem like they can be misinterpreted is the Switch 2 will be officially announced in January 2025 and will be released in March 2025. Now, this is the most interesting stuff to me right here. The machine translated rumor goes on to mention that there are already shipments in various regions of about 65,000 units. They also point out for comparison that the original Switch shipped with 2.7 million units. It looks like this source is alluding to the number of Switch consoles that were made in the past few months and not the number of Switch 2 units made when it launched in 2017. Finally, the rumor ends with claims that the Switch 2 components have already been made in the hundreds of thousands since September. And we've seen leaks and rumors saying that manufacturing went full throttle in September, that they were in mass manufacturing, I think that's what it's called, in September. Likewise, the long-rumored NVIDIA T239 SoC that will power the Switch 2 has been shipped in large quantities. So this is another report saying January reveal, March launch. And then we also got some extra information there about 65,000 units being shipped to multiple places. So not 65,000 total units in quantities of 65,000. So maybe one to the northeast, and maybe one down south, and maybe one out west, and maybe some in the UK. And also a bunch of Switch 2 components have already been made in hundreds of thousands since September. So it's kind of crazy, man. We've been speculating for so long, but this stuff seems more real than ever. In less than 4 months, we will actually be playing the Nintendo Switch 2, and that is so freaking exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, you know that your opinion matters most over here, so in the comments below, I would love to hear from you guys. Let me know what you guys are thinking. If you made it to this part of the video, Mr. Robot Joe is forever indebted to you. I am so thankful for your support, for your viewership, because you could be anywhere else in the world, and you're right here, so thank you so much for that. If you would like to become part of this community, hit a like and subscribe on the way out, and follow me on Instagram because we are growing over there, and it's a lot of fun talking to you guys, and you guys know me. I will see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.